Welcome back to my channel. So before moving into any makeup tutorial or any makeup looks or any technicalities, I want to thank each one of you for subscribing to my channel and watching it and liking it too. Thank you so very much. I am humbled the way you guys are reacting to my videos. You guys are appreciating it. Thank you so much for that. Today's tutorial would be on a makeup look which is a very simple, very neutral. You can wear it on days when you are running late. You can wear this for your work. You can wear it for your college time. You can wear it anywhere. You can wear it on days when you don't feel like doing too much but still want to look all put together and little clammed up. If you want to know how to get this look, simply keep on watching. Yeah. You can see I've already done my brows off camera. The reason why I've done it before is a lot of you may skip this step, but I don't. Whether I go for a natural look or a very heavy party look, I never skip my brows. So I've done it off camera. If you want to do it, good. If you don't want to do it, good. So for today's look, I am using a BB cream instead of a foundation because I don't want a very heavy coverage. I want something which is light on skin and gives coverage at the same time. So I have chosen a BB cream, and I have this BB cream in my vanity, the only BB cream I have with me, and that is a Dior Hydralife BB cream, and I am in shade Golden Peach. So I'm just taking 2 pumps of it at the back of my hand like so. So I'm just taking a Real Technique stippling brush and taking some of the product at a time. I don't put too much at a time. I just take very little amount and then try to buff it in. When I'm using very like watery kind of foundation, I don't use a beauty blender because it tends to soak up the product. I use brush instead. So I'm just buffing my BB cream, taking some of the product down on my neck because I don't want my neck to be like different from my face. Never forget your ears. Never. Whatever is left, just take that. So BB cream done. Now we are moving on to the concealer. Everybody has dark circle issues, so do I. So I'm just going for a Tarte Shape Tape. I don't need much of this under my eye. Just a thin layer would do. It will cover all my dark circle, and for that I never use a brush when I use a concealer. I always go for a beauty blender. Inner corners have the most darkness, so that is why I've just popped some concealer there and then just blending that out. And I'm a little weird. I look weird when I blend things. Excuse me. Just look up when you blend your concealer so that, you know, the concealer gets into every crease. It doesn't deposit in any crease. So you just need to make sure that you look up when you blend your concealer. I'm not setting my full face. I make sure that I set my under eye because my under eye has fine lines and my concealer tends to crease. So I will take my Real Technique brush and my powder, which is from Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. It's a foundation powder. This is a full coverage powder. Make sure that you use very light hand so that you don't deposit powder too much at one time. Just take very little amount of powder in this brush, tap off the excess, or you can just do this and then set your under eye. Do it Set your under eye immediately after blending your concealer. Don't give time to the concealer to crease. Just set it immediately after you blend your concealer. So I'm just putting some amount of powder on the side of my nose and some where I get smile lines. That's it. So powder done. Now moving on to my bronzer. So the bronzer is from Dior. This is a Dior bronzer and this is in shade 004. I'm taking my MAC 137 brush. This is a very fluffy brush which doesn't deposit too much of product. Just swirling my brush around the bronzer like so and then tapping off the excess. I try to bronze on the cheekbones, not under. That is where your contour should be, not the bronzer. So I'm typically bronzing the places where naturally the sun hits. So like on my temples. Very light hand you have to use. Don't put too much pressure when you're using bronzer or any product. Very light-handedly you need to dust off the bronzer. Taking some amount of bronzer under my jawline, some on the cheeks. This is not cheek, this is chin. What am I doing? My bad. So doing some bronzing on my neck. Ooh, I love it. I love bronzers. And then whatever is left on the brush, just try to sweep the brush across your nose like this. Generally when I go for like very easy look, I don't use blush, I don't use too much of product. Like I don't use blush alag se, I don't use this, that, I don't exaggerate my look. I'm just taking my Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick. This is a very versatile product and it's in shade bronze. This is very versatile product because this you can use as a bronzer, as a blush, as a highlighter. That is why we call it versatile. So I'm just taking the same brush and then swirling my brush around that compact, tapping off the excess and then smile. I want the apple of my cheeks to pop out and then I can do my blush. So I'm just, either you can do this or smile. Do it the way you want. Doing the same thing on my other cheek. I'm just popping that shimmer brick onto the apples of my cheek and then dragging it back. You don't need highlighter like separately. This is very versatile. Trust me, this is very versatile product. You can use this as an eyeshadow too. Some on my temples just to give that glow. Now moving on to my eyes. I'm using that same Dior bronzer. I'm just taking this as an eyeshadow. When I'm in a hurry, I don't take out my eyeshadow palette and then use it as an eyeshadow. I just take my bronzer and use it as a transition color. So I'm just dipping my MAC 217 brush into it and using a bronzer as a transition shade. Blend that bronzer using that back and forth motion. You can use it like, you can take that bronzer on your eyelid too. Like that. Just blending that eyeshadow away. And then flicking it out. Now taking the same bronzer and then, blowing out the lower lash line. I love to have that blown out lower lash line. So I'm just putting that, I would say, generously. Now doing the same thing on my other eye. Done. And now I will take that same product and try to contour my nose a little bit. Even when I'm going for a very simple look, I never forget to contour my nose. Contour, contour, contour. You can use the cooler tone shade. This has 2 different shades in one bronzer, so I'm just taking the cooler one, the cooler tone one, and then trying to contour a bit. Same brush like 217, and then if you want your nostrils to look a bit more thinner, you can use your contour powder or your bronzer, which is like not too warm, on the side of your nose, like so. And then with my finger I'm just trying to take the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick, and with, again, I just use one brush from my eye, that is MAC 217, that is from MAC 217. I'm just picking, just swirling my brush on the darker thing like so, and then popping that on the inner corner of my eye. This will catch the light like so. I'm just dusting it. I'm not patting that shimmer thing. I'm just dusting it. That's it. Lighter shade of like the top shade, which is very light, which has golden reflex. I'm just taking that in the inner corner like so. I'll take the lightest shade which I've used to highlight the inner corner on my Real Techniques Duo Fiber brush. I'll just take on the top part of that brush like this, swipe it little, swipe the brush on that shade, and then highlight my nose. Take the same brush and try to blend everything out, like whatever. I'm just blending with my Duo Fiber brush. Not using eyeliner today because it's a very simple look. I don't want to put too much effort early in the morning when I ran out of time, so I don't do liner. I just take my kajal. This is from Dior again. Please don't bash me for using so much Dior product. Just saying, just saying. I'm taking this Dior kajal and trying to tight line the upper waterline. This is a little difficult. This hurts. It still hurts. I've done this a lot of time, but it still hurts. Like, to me. Taking that same kajal under my waterline too, like on my lower waterline. I prefer brown over black when I'm going for a daytime look. Now taking my mascara, which is again from a high-end brand. It's a Lancome Grandiose. I love the wand of this mascara because it makes it easy. It makes my lashes look more longer. Just take your time and do your mascara. Mascara. Dior mascara. No need to hurry so much. Now moving on to the last step, which is my lip. I am using my Inglot Lipliner, which is in shade 852. I always line my lip, be it a natural day makeup look or an exaggerated one or a shadi one or anything. I never forget to line my lip. I'm taking my MAC lipstick, which is in shade Kinda Sexy. I'm just popping that onto the lip. I preferably use my finger and then dab it on my lip. That is how I do it. All natural. I don't want too much of lip product there. I'm just dabbing it. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. And until then, see you soon. Bye. Stay beautiful. Where your sun will hit. Your son, my son also. Thank you for... Hi! I mean, these guys, I hate them.